Next, Under the Lights.
We ate tonight.
The Florida high school football playoffs have begun.
Time is here.
224 teams buckle the chin straps in a win-or-go-home battle.
We got to handle business tonight, win or go home. And I promise you, we're not going home no time soon.
What teams remain?
Oh, yeah!
Who will fall?
Second round, here we go.
The Dreadnoughts get all their guns firing. Josh Wilson joins us for some bracketology.
We're going to be victorious, gentlemen. Believe it.
We've got your back from coast to coast.
Let's go out there and play our best game tonight.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Under the Lights Florida High School Football Final, driven by Honda. I'm Dave Aizer.
I'm Kailey Mizelle. We are so excited for playoff football. We got a lot of games to get to. Let's start in Class 8A.
Specifically, Region 1 of 8A. Undefeated Seminole hosting defending state champ Mandarin. And check out this very clever trash-talking Seminole. All right, backing it up. Timmy McLean to O'Shea Baker, who caught 2 TDs and ran for 2 TDs. Now, Georgia commit Carson Beck brings Mandarin back. He hits Jalen Smith in the rain, but Seminole is just too tough. Eric Wynn helps his team win. With this 52-yard score, Seminole beats Mandarin 59-32, but head coach Don Starks knows there's more work to be done.
It feels good. You know, we're going to enjoy it for the weekend and then come back ready Monday, ready to work. Just found out we got Timber Creek. They got a good program over there, and let's see if we can beat another one.
Staying in Region 1, Bartram Trail taking on Spruce Creek. Bartram Trail, quick pitch and catch. Chad Dotson to Jackson Mayer. And then this A.J. Megas run puts a bow on the Bears' 42-0 win. Bartram Trail advances to take on Apopka next week in the regional semis.
Vero Beach with the number 1 seed in Region 3 hosting Boca Raton. Vero QB Ryan Jankowski has had a great year, and it continues, finding Jermaine Dawson on a slant for the score. The fans are feeling it. More Jankowski, this time a bubble screen to Keith Woolard. He heads down the sideline, cuts it back inside, and is end zone bound, and Vero Beach beats Boca 42-7.
Staying in Region 3, Santa Luz versus Treasure Coast. Titans poured it on first. Joey Flurgis drives in for a score, and then Jonas Watkins on the ground. Titans put up 40 to take down the Chiefs. Treasure Coast gets its rematch with Vero Beach. This one counts.
Down in Region 4, Palmetto, the 1 seed, taking on Taravella. Panthers QB Kevin Smith handles the low snap, keeps it himself, and finds the pylon. And speaking of Palmetto touchdown runs, inside handoff to Marlon Hanna. He shows a nice burst and runs right through the Trojan D. Palmetto pitches a shutout, and they go on to win by the score of 68-0. Probably the best matchup in Class 8A, South Dade taking on Western. South Dade grabs the lead early behind Chezzy Matthews. Nobody scores on Western, but Western's freshman QB Colin Hurst had 4 touchdowns. Here he finds Omar Simpson. Then he hits Karan St. Louis, who does all the dirty work, breaking tackles and earning those 6 points. Great effort. Western ends South Dade's dream season 43-20, and next up for the Wildcats, Palmetto, and 2 of the best defenses in South Florida, and Coach Ratkovich is pumped.
You know, we played in every phase of the game. We played well. Our offense executed. Our defense executed. That's a very good football team. We knew it was going to be a dogfight, and they came out early and were fighting, but we kept pounding, and we did what we came here to do.
Finishing up the 8A bracket in Region 4, 2-seed Columbus taking on Coral Gables. Coral Gables looks mighty entering the field, but with Henry Parrish, Explorers were able to get out to a large lead. Parrish claimed the first 4 touchdowns Columbus had, and then rested his legs as the Explorers galloped to a 50-14 finish. Here's a look at the 8A bracket now, down to 16 teams. There are some huge matchups next week. Seminole will take on district champion Timber Creek, and Apopka gets Bartram Trail. Riverview gets Steinbrenner.
Vero Beach and Treasure Coast went to OT earlier this year, with Vero winning 31-30, and a battle of defenses between Palmetto and Western.
7A action now, Region 1, Crestview taking on top seed Edgewater. Crestview Southpaw Chase Moulton with the laser to Trace Sears for the score. Edgewater Isaiah Connolly was grown man running. He had 2 touchdowns, 225 yards in the 31-14 Edgewater win. Edgewater will face Lincoln in the regional semis.
That game brings us the Orlando Health Defensive Player of the Week. Edgewater's defensive tackle, Justin Hoskins, blows up the screen, picks it off, and the big fella won't be denied. He rumbles all the way into the end zone. Congratulations, Mr. Hoskins. That is the Orlando Health Defensive Play of the Week. Staying in Region 1, the 3 and 6 seeds clash. Fleming Island versus Wekiva. Fleming Island's Dean Himes with the screen pass to Tim Thomas, and Thomas turns on the burners. He scored 2 TDs on the day and had 186 yards rushing, and Fleming Island wins 28-14.
Region 2 action over in the Space Coast. Vieira hosting Tampa Bay Tech. Birds coming out of the cage slowly. Tampa Bay Tech not amused. They jumped all over Vieira. Osmas Aguilera bulldozes to the end zone. Then David Wright finds Armand Harris on the post. The Titans take down Vieira 52-13, and they go on to the winner of your game, Dave.
Staying in Region 2, and the 2-seed Lakeland? Seriously, 2-seed? The defending state champ Dreadnoughts don't look like a 2-seed. Reggie Kellum on the jet sweep on the first play from scrimmage. He turns it upfield for 80 yards, and he's going to keep on running until there's no need to run anymore. That's a Lakeland touchdown. Now, Kailey, what would a Lakeland highlight be without this guy, DeMarcus Bowman? The Clemson commit goes 88 yards for locker room bragging rights, and Lakeland roughs up Wiregrass 57-7.
Just would it be a Lakeland highlight? Hopping over to Region 3, 5-seed Venice taking on 4-seed Lehigh. Venice, Stephon Johnson listed as a corner, but when you can do this, yeah, you're going to get the ball on offense too. He calls his own number again, and Venice takes care of the 4-seed 49-0.
Well, I think we know where this is heading, right? Lakeland now gets a stiffer test in Tampa Bay Tech, and the winner will most likely get Armwood in the regionals. And oh, by the way, St. Thomas, they won their first-round matchup with ease, pitching a 52-0 shutout over South Broward. The Raiders will face Plantation next.
Manatee and Mitchell, a battle of 2 and 3 seeds, should be a dandy. Venice takes on Palm Beach Lakes.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Catch your breath because we got way more to get to.
Yeah, good thing I've got my running shoes on.
Coming up, the battle for 7A begins. And Josh Wilson joins us to preview next week's matchups. Under the Lights is driven by Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today. By Advent Health. Our goal is to help you feel whole. And by the Florida Lottery. It's your ticket. Claim it.
We have covered 2 classes so far in the playoffs.
Let's keep it going. Time to head over for some 6A action. Top seed Escambia taking on New Smyrna Beach in Region 1. How about some QB scrambling, a dipsy-do style? A.B. Smith shows off his athleticism and finds Chris Hale, who could hail a cab, he's so open. Escambia keeps on running all the way to a 44-0 win.
And staying in Region 1, a 3 versus 6 matchup. Ponte Vedra taking on Columbia. Columbia, Jordan Smith hits Andrew Myers on the slant. And hey, Dave, guess what?
What?
Marlon Pollock gets the interception. Columbia holds on to win 14-7. Hey, don't count them out.
You love Columbia. Columbia gets the winner of Robert E. Lee against St. Augustine. St. Augustine QB Sam Edwards hits Jaden McDowell on the slant. Yellow Jackets score, but the Generals answer. Zaire Lee goes up the middle. He takes on contact, and he scores. Lee, the player, had a pair of touchdowns. Lee, the school, outlasts St. Augustine 29-21.
In the lower bracket, Region 2, Dixie Hollins taking on Clearwater. Rebels trying to predict the future and the weather.
Neither are easy.
No. And there was no sunshine. Clearwater's Latrez Bradley takes it to the house. Then it's Rent Monty to Kedrick Murray for this highlight reel touchdown. Clearwater tears up Dixie Hollins 35-6.
I'd actually like to see that again. Oh, great. Here it is. Take a second look at that catch, Kailey. The Advent Health catch of the week is this one-handed grab from Kedrick Murray. Desjuan Davis from Dixie Hollins had good coverage, but not good enough. Great job, Murray. That is a great grab and our Advent Health catch of the week.
Still sticking with 6A action, Region 3 tilt between Lake Gibson and Auburndale. Lake Gibson off to the races. Jalen Glover chugs to the goal line. Glover had over 100 yards rushing in the first half and more rushing attack from Lake Gibson, this time to Ron Boykins. Lake Gibson rolls 31-21.
We went from a great catch to a guy named Glover. Very interesting. Class 6A Region 4, Dunbar at Transpalo to face Miami Central. Amari Daniels had himself a day, busts up the middle here for the touchdown. Then Daniels makes a defender miss. He takes it outside. He finds the sideline, and it's a foot race, and nobody's going to catch him. He's headed for glory, and so is Central. The Rockets beat Dunbar 38-0. 7-seed Lely coming across the Everglades to take on 2-seed Dillard. Lely's Jonas Dudone heaves the ball to the end zone, and Stephen Morney comes down with the catch. So Dillard says, well, let's try the same play and get the same results. Zamir Jones hits Raphael Williams for the touchdown. And then on defense, Dillard's Damon Brinson is demand because he picks the ball off, gets himself a convoy to the end zone, and Dillard wins 48-6.
And that game leads to our Vico team's special team of the week. This comes from Dillard's Devon Mortimer on the punt return. He stumbles, but then collects himself, turns on the Jets, cuts along the sideline, and gone. Mortimer makes it our Vico special teams play of the week. And here's a look at the final 16 teams remaining in the 6A bracket. Escambia still looking like the team to beat in Region 1. Gaither versus Clearwater is going to be a nice matchup this week.
And check out Central taking on the number 1 seed Naples in Region 4. That should be a big test. And Dillard gets Fort Myers.
5A action now starting in the upper bracket of Region 1. 4 and 5 seed Rains versus Westside. Rains' Nigel Smith takes the handoff for a touchdown. And then it's quarterback Carlton Butler Jr. who carries it to the house. Rains wins 52-20.
Doing the Carlton. Do you get that, Kaylee? The lower bracket of Region 1. Parker taking on Godby, and we've got some special teams. Godby's Avery Boyd takes the opening kickoff 82 yards for a touchdown. Godby built a 21-0 lead. They would go on to win 38-14. By the way, that was a Fresh Prince reference.
Yes, I do get that.
Okay.
Finishing up Region 1 bracket, 2-seed Pine Forest versus Baker County. Ladarius Clarity finds Vaughn Hill waiting. And he doesn't have an offer from the U, but this might change their mind. He has some wheels too. Pine Forest puts away Baker County 35-28.
Listen, my Canes are starting to play well, just saying. Down in Region 2, Menendez taking on Vanguard. This one was all Vanguard, thanks in large part to DeWitt Betterson. He rumbles up the middle for the touchdown, then takes it outside for another score. Vanguard with a dominating effort and a shutout win, 34-0.
Staying with Region 2, 7-seed North Marion taking on 2-seed Denellen. North Marion so hot. Quentin Gross finds a jumping Brendan Shipp for the touchdown. Ed Williams picks up where he left off last week. 3 first-half touchdowns and North Marion's 48-9 win.
Up in Region 3, top seed Rockledge versus the 8th seed Chamberlain from Tampa. Rockledge ready to rock, but they got rolled. Chamberlain's Anthony Guzman up the middle. It's a scrum, and give credit to his teammates for pushing the pile, which eventually moves about 8 yards into the end zone. Forward progress. Later, more Guzman and more tough running as he stays on his feet, and he finds the pylon for the score. Chamberlain jumps out to an 18-0 lead, and they hold on and they win 25-13, making Rockledge the only 1 seed to fall in the first round.
Nice. In Class 5A, O'Galley taking on Jesuit in Region 3, and sticking with number 3, Jesuit's Christian Jones, a touchdown here. But guess what? O'Galley has a 3 of their own. Jaden Campbell gets a score, and hey, Dave, what's 3 plus 3?
Feels like a trick question. I'm going to say 6.
Exactly. Jesuit's number 6, Kyle Kelly, the score up the middle. Jesuit takes on Chamberlain next in their 45-9 victory.
The 2 seed in Region 3, undefeated Lake Wales hosting Sebring, and we saw this banner earlier. I guess this is the trendy trash talk. Lake Wales in a dogfight, and this Sebring score makes it 7-all. Lake Wales' hype is usually reserved for defensive tackle and Gator commit Gervin Dexter, but they've got a star on offense too. Tailback Johnny Richardson is bottled up, but somehow reverses field and ends up scoring, making it 14-7. Awesome. Sebring fights back. Casey Hawthorne finds Jerry Hairston, and the Blue Streaks lead 21-14. Then Lake Wales QB Eric Williams keeps it, and he scores, and it's 21-20 Sebring. Watch this, Kaylee. Extra point snap goes directly to Richardson. He beats 3 defenders to the goal line for the 2-point conversion. Lake Wales wins 22-21. What a game.
Staying with 5A action down in Region 4, top-seeded American Heritage hosting Key West in Plantation. Edwin Rhodes with a record-breaking day. Edwin now holds the record for career completions with 253. He also owns career touchdown record, 53 of those, and best one of all, 6 passing touchdowns in a single game like he did that night. Heritage puts a stamp on it, 53-15.
Fantastic. Wrapping up our 5A action in Region 4, Northwestern versus Stranahan Saturday night. This game was the cat's meow, baby. Do people still say that? Northwestern QB Kamani Brown opts not to throw it and just keep it himself. That's a wise choice. He's just going to keep on running, and the Bulls led 48-0 at halftime. They would ultimately cruise to a win by the score of 63-0. And here is a quick look at who's left in the 5A bracket. The Rockledge upset opens things up in Region 3. And who knows if American Heritage can be touched, but the potential matchup with Northwestern in 2 weeks is one to keep an eye on.
Definitely some exciting games, but we have a lot to get to today.
Who's it gonna be in 5A? Lake Wales, American Heritage, or Northwestern? Josh Wilson joins us to preview next week's matchups. Under the Lights is driven by Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today. By Vico Painting Contractors, a commercial painting company that delivers top quality work and excellent customer satisfaction. And by Orlando Health, a not-for-profit network of leading community hospitals.
We are almost done with Class 4A.
We still have a few key matchups to get to first. In Region 2, Keystone Heights taking on Astronaut, and Abron Torres takes the handoff and launches off for Astronaut. And then it's Jaden Dollard's turn. Astronaut rockets past Keystone Heights, 34-14.
Clever wordplay. I see what you did there. Heading down to Region 4, Booker T. Washington against Carroll City. Chiefs QB Keon Jenkins goes deep to Marcel Williams, makes a diving catch at the 1. Carroll City would score and lead 7-zip. Tornadoes QB Torrey Morrison swirls like a tornado and whirls into the end zone. It's 14-7 Booker T, and from there, the Tornadoes unleashed a torrent on offense, and they opened the floodgates. Booker T means business. They win 35-14. Same region, Cardinal Gibbons versus Monsignor Pace, and Gibbons looking for a second straight state championship, and QB Brody Polhegi does his part. He opens the scoring with this scamper, and then Polhegi via the air to Jake Harrington. This would turn into a 50-yard touchdown pass, and Gibbons goes on to win by the score of 56-26. Bye weeks are over with. Gibbons versus University is going to be an awesome game.
And Lakewood versus Clewiston, a Region 3 Cocoa taking on Astronaut. Class 3A action now. Trinity Christian taking on the 5 seed Trinity Catholic. And we appreciate hard hitting. Here is Trinity Catholic's Jamarian Samuel laying the wood from the safety position. But Christian got to the end zone. Here's Kaiwan Herndon. He scores, but then Catholic responds. Remember Samuel? On offense now, Trinity Christian gets knocked out by Catholic, 23-21.
Down in Region 4, Uncle Luke and his Edison Red Raiders taking on Westminster Christian. For the Red Raiders, it was only their second postseason appearance in the past 14 years, and they seized the moment. Edison jumped out in front early on this 36-yard run by Keith Moore. They didn't look back. They win 33-7.
Finishing up Region 4, St. Andrews, who hasn't made the playoffs in 45 years, taking on Somerset Academy, who's making the playoffs for the first time. It was all Somerset, Dave. The Stallions win their first playoff game, 54-7.
Taking a look at 3A in Region 3, Berkeley Prep and Clearwater CC get a rematch. Chaminade gets to work in Region 4.
Pensacola Catholic in Region 1 faces off with Trinity Catholic. In Region 2A, Region 2, 3rd seed Oak Hall taking on St. Francis Catholic. Oak Hall, Carter Coleman runs to the end zone, and the Eagles run away with it, 47-0. Taking a look at the 2A brackets, University Christian, the team to beat.
And Miami Champagnat is going to make some noise in the South region.
Coming up, FloridaHighSchoolFootball.com's Josh Wilson joins us next. The Florida Lottery Pick 4 Player of the Week is Max McClendon, who rushed for 397 yards on 31 carries, scoring 5 touchdowns.
Here's a look at this week's Florida Lottery Pick 4 top performances, showing some love to the defensive guys this week. Remember, go to our Twitter handle at Fox Sports FL. Use the hashtag UTLFlorida to vote for this week's top performances.
Class 1A Region 3, Hilliard versus Branford, and this one came down to the wire. In a driving rain, Hilliard QB Lyle Bennett rolls right, throws deep, and finds DJ Costin for the touchdown. The combo would strike again with the same result, and Hilliard wins a nail-biter 34-33.
In Region 3 of Class 1A, Dixie County taking on Union County. Lance Thornton heaves it down the field for Cortez Slocum, who gets tripped up, but then taken down just shy of the goal line. Tavion Lee caps off the Tigers' drive, and they take down the Bears 26-22.
Region 4 of Class 1A, Trenton versus Chiefland. First quarter, Chiefland gets it going. Ty Corbin to Cedric Moultrie, and it's 7-0 Indians. Second quarter, Corbin shows off his wheels, a QB keeper, and he scores. Chiefland wins 21-13. We have given you a ton of games to consider, and now let's turn it over to the guy who can break them all down. From FloridaHSFootball.com, rocking the playoff hair, Josh Wilson.
Josh, looking good, just like the playoffs did in Week 1. What was the biggest upset?
How about, we warned you last week about Chamberlain and Rockledge, a number 8 seed versus a number 1 seed. And since 2017, this is the third time that has happened where a 8 seed has defeated a number 1 seed. And here we are again. Chamberlain gets the upset.
Hey, Josh, how's your bracket in Class 3A looking? I know you love Trinity Christian. What happened, man?
My bracket is busted. Trinity Christian just didn't come prepared. Trinity Catholic was prepared for Trinity Christian. And, well, Trinity Christian, the conquerors said, see you later.
Well, I want us to be prepared this week. So what else is trending after Week 1?
Well, the 5 seeds held an 18-14 advantage against the 4 seeds in the opening round, and that's great right there, especially when you get equally competitive matchups between those 4 versus 5 seeds.
All right, as we look ahead to this upcoming week, what are some games you're fired up about?
Well, defense has had 13. There was 13 shutouts this past week, so defense is going to be a big key this week, especially when Western travels to Miami Palmetto, and that's going to be a big game right there. Battle defenses, and of course, other games to watch. Cardinal Gibbons at University School, and the Popcat Bartram Trail. Some great games right there.
So many great games, but you got to tell us who's on upset alert.
Watch out for the Port Charlotte Pirates as they take on the Palmetto Tigers, and it's going to be a thing. I think Palmetto right there is kind of on shaky ground. Port Charlotte's starting to look a little good and peaking at the right time.
Josh, as always, great to talk to you. Remember, you can get all of his great work at FloridaHSFootball.com. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks so much. Thank you for watching. This has been Under the Lights, Florida High School Football Final, driven by Honda.